Okay, good morning. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Chesapeake Classic Restorations. I am your host, Jeremy. So today we're going over our stuff with, there's kind of an update on the last video. So we're going over our stuff with the 67 Camaro. This is when we're doing a disc brake conversion on it. As you can see, this is all the stuff from Right Stuff Detailing. Went on here super nice, no issues, direct fit. I mean, can't be the easiest, simplest kit in the world. Stuff fits great. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Comes with a whole new knuckle. This kit came with the bracket for the caliper, the pads, the brake hose. All the banjo fittings for the caliper, inner wheel bearings, inner grease seal, the nut for the spindle, the washer for the spindle, the cotter pin for the spindle, backing plate, everything you need. Super easy to install, and like I said, fits good. So today the goal is to get the master cylinder, the booster, and lo and behold, the new brake proportioning valve that came in the kit. Get that installed, and then also going to do the rear brakes. The customer actually had most of the rear brake parts buried in the trunk, but some of the hardware was no good. The self-adjusters were seized up, and the little pieces on the star wheels were worn out. I'll show you that in a minute. So on this, you get these two fittings that go with the proportioning valve, but this line down here, which is for the left front, had a different fitting from the old valve, so I had to cut and flare that, put a new fitting on it, and then the line back here for the rear brakes, same thing, wrong size fitting. So cut, flared that. Now I just have to bend it to, which I have a bending tool to go into the back part of the prop valve right there. And then we'll get the booster and master mounted and get it plumbed up. So as you can see, that's our old one. That's our new one. That's our new booster, which actually this car did not have a booster at all. So it's just basically manual brakes. So yeah, I had to cut one of the fittings off of the old line and use it for the rear brake line. Not a big deal. It's still in good shape, so that's why I used it. If not, I would have put a brand new one on there or got one. So this is the self-adjusters for the rear brakes, and this one is completely seized. That one's completely seized. This is the stuff for the front brakes, so you can actually use it. It's the same parts, front and rear. It's just whether it's left or right. That's the issue. So this one, you see the little nubs. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but the nubs are worn down quite a bit on the adjuster. And this one just completely worn down. And I'm missing a couple of small things. Like I'm missing one of these springs. I'm missing the spring that goes on the bar for the shoes, goes in the back. So rather than try and cobble it together, the only thing I really used was the hold down springs because they were new, and the pins, the retainers, and that's it. I have a whole new hardware kit, which is going to come with new springs for that. And new adjusters, the self-adjuster kit. So we have this stuff hung for now. Probably going to come back apart and we'll put all the new hardware on it. But I just wanted to make sure everything fit properly. Then I painted the drums with some epoxy paint, VHT epoxy paint. It'll probably burn off, but you know, it'll look good for now. The drums were getting a little rusty, so, and they were like almost new. So I'm guessing this guy did a lot of brake work to this thing and then parked it. You know, I guess as time and budget allow. It's got all new brake lines on it. or newer, I should say. It's not all brand new. So that's where we're at. And then our awesome 83 Chevy truck that was getting the transmission. Well, transmission's in. We did have to get a new dipstick tube, which came in yesterday. I got that installed. Put a nice chrome one in there. Thank you, Summit Racing. Reason we had to do that is the old one, when I took it out, it was no problem. I got to put it back on. Let me find it. Here we go. Sorry, first thing in the morning. The bracket that secures it to the back of the block, I have it taped on there so I didn't lose it, just in case a customer wants his old parts for some reason or wants to see it. But the bracket, I will go to put the thing back up in there, and the bracket just fell right off. It was all rusted. It's got a hole right in it. So rather than try and repair it, we just got a whole new one for it. Did replace the valve cover gaskets. You can see that's the old ones. It had crappy cork gaskets. I hate cork gaskets. Absolutely despise them because they always leak. I don't care what you do to them. They're gonna leak. So we put one-piece rubber gaskets on. It should do them a lot better. And then we put new brake hoses on, because whoever routed these brake hoses, they're nice braided ones, but the covering's coming off. They weren't allowing, the way that they put them on here on this truck, when you turn the wheel, I guess they wouldn't move enough, but they were also jammed up under the upper control arm, and you see it was tearing them up. So it's brakes, it's safety. They get new ones. There's no questions asked. We're not rerouting them. We're not going to try and cover them. You just get new ones, because you can't depend on that to not blow out at some point. And yeah, that's a safety issue. Now, what we're waiting on the transmission is drive shaft. We had to get a new drive shaft made. We had to send the old one out because we didn't realize it until after I got this transmission in, because I didn't even check. It's a Turbo 350. This transmission has the new one for Monster has a short tail shaft section. The one that came out of the truck has a long tail shaft section. So when we gave all the information on the vehicle to Monster, they said this transmission is out of a 4-wheel drive, which would explain the long tail shaft, because normally this would come off, an adapter housing goes on, then the transfer case goes on. But we didn't build this truck. This is how it came. So the only other option would have been to get a different transmission, because you can't just change the adapter housing, because the whole tail shaft section inside the trans is different. I have to pull the whole trans apart, change out a whole lot of internal parts, and a different tail shaft housing. So we're just having the drive shaft changed. So that's at the drive shaft shop in Cambridge. I gave them all the measurements, sent them all the old one with the yoke and everything like that. They're gonna put all new U-joints in it, lengthen it, balance it, paint it, send it back. We're gonna put that bad boy in, and then she's ready to roll. Our 53 Chevy is just about done. We had to get all the headliners here for today. Thank you, LMC Truck. We buy a lot of stuff from them. And then we had, because this thing has Holley EFI on it, this is a weird combination. So let me show you. I don't know if you can really see, but it had the Holley dash in it over here, and it had the stock gauges over here. Well, customer wanted digital Dakota gauges and the Holley. We tried to get him to put the Holley over here, have us cut the dash up, mount it in there properly, and then over there, you know, fill that in or put a radio in there or something like that, but he didn't want to do it. This is what he wanted to do. But for some reason, John's been messing with this more than I have. Even when you go in with a laptop into the Holley to try and change PIDs and such, try and move things around, you only get the capability to either have those gauges work or that gauge work. I mean, that one will light up, but none of the gauge functions on it will work. So I give you a little idea. Excuse me. You know, with all of your gauges themselves. So it's either one or the other. He wants them both to work. It's customer's choice. It's what he wants to do. So we kind of think it's a bit redundant. I'd rather have one or the other. Honestly, I'd rather use the Holly and either mount it here, or we even suggested mounting it up here. But that's what he wants to do. So we're going to make it work. So John had to get another piece from Holly to be able to piggyback the two and make them work properly. So he's going to probably be working on that today. But all the glass is in. Tint's done. And then headliner, a couple little trim pieces we still have to install. And then we have to figure out an issue with it. It keeps blowing the fuses for the fuel pump. We put a new fuel pump in. We took a frame rail pump out, put an in-tank pump into the thing, and wired it up the same way that they had it wired up in here. So we have to dig into that. I have a feeling it's poor ground, or maybe the wires chafe somewhere. It's weird. It'll run for a while with no problems, and then all of a sudden it'll just blow the fuse. We'll figure it out. Worst case, we'll just completely rewire the pump per Holly's instructions and roll with it. So, we did get the new headlight trims in. We got that in, got that in. The mirrors, as you can see. So it's moving along. It's just about done. We got our engine back for the Marauder, freshly rebuilt by our friend BL. He does beautiful work. Awesome guy. Should run nice, and it's just a stock rebuild. I think we went one size larger on the cam, just to give it a little bit of sound and chop to it, but not much. Because the customer didn't really want it to be a hot rod. He just wants it to be reliable. He wants to actually use the thing. So next up on the list is we have to get these valve covers cleaned up. We got to take them over to the other building. We have a blast cabinet over there. We're going to clean these up. These are going to get repainted. He wants them repainted the original kind of gold color of the 60s. That John's making a new decal for the air cleaner lid, and we have to repaint the air cleaner lid as well. And then of course I got to, BL ran this stuff through his hot tank, got it as clean as he possibly could. So we're going to repaint everything, paint the motor black, and then we'll get the engine bay pressure washed. Gotta get the master cylinder and booster put on for the disc brake conversion. Paint the engine bay, and then we'll set the motor down in it. And then when the trans comes back, we'll get the trans in it, and we'll get that done and tidy up everything else. So the Austin is going to get started on here soon. We have to get a couple of these things out so we can actually have time and area to touch it. Our little fair lady, waiting on the parts. Ordered clutch master, brake master, clutch master and clutch slave cylinder. Waiting on those to come in. We're going to put them in, see what happens. That's hoping that fixes the problem, because I really do not want to pull the whole motor and transmission out of this car. But it is what it is. And then an update on the Corvette. BL, who's her machinist, looked at the engine for this. As I told you, this is the one where the crank balancer came off. Well, apparently the previous person that had this vehicle that rebuilt the engine, because the engine did look fairly clean inside, like it had just been gone through in a recent time period. I don't know exactly when. I don't really know all the history on this car. Well, this engine's trashed. Apparently they assembled the motor wrong. Something with the wrist pins, or they put the pistons in wrong, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I have to get more detail from BL. But he sent us pictures of when he looked inside the cylinder bores, and it is trash. So we got to find an engine for it. We're going to try to find a small journal 327. If you happen to have a good small journal 327 block and crank, please reach out to Chesapeake Classic Restorations, because we need one. And that's it. Thank you.